In 2023, 5 people paid $250,000 each to descend to the Titanic. They never came back. In 2018, a Thai cave explorer guided 12 children through a flooding cave. He lied about one thing, and that lie saved their lives. And in 1912, over 1,500 people died on the most famous ship ever built. 390 of them were never found. Until now. 3 disasters. 3 secrets that were buried underwater. And one terrifying thing they all have in common. Stay with me. On June 18, 2023, the Titan submersible began its descent toward the Titanic wreck, 3,800 meters below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean. On board were 5 people, including Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, the man who had personally dismissed safety warnings for years. Engineers had warned him. Regulators had warned him. One employee was even fired for raising concerns about the carbon fiber hull. Rush ignored all of it. 1 hour and 45 minutes into the dive, contact was lost. The surface crew waited. Then they kept waiting. For 4 days, the world watched a frantic search unfold across the North Atlantic. The U.S. Navy, the Canadian Coast Guard, remotely operated vehicles, all searching. Then they found it. Not a submarine. Debris. A 5-inch titanium ring. Carbon fiber fragments. The Titan had imploded, instantaneously, at a depth where the pressure is 400 times what you feel at sea level. The 5 people inside never felt a thing. At that depth, the implosion takes 30 milliseconds, less time than a human blink. But here's what no one tells you. The U.S. Navy had detected the implosion sound on June 18th, the day the Titan went missing. They kept it classified for 4 days while families waited for hope. The same Navy that had the technology to hear a submarine implode from hundreds of miles away said nothing. But the Titan wasn't the first underwater vessel to claim lives through corporate arrogance. And it wasn't the worst. And it definitely wasn't the last secret buried at the bottom of the ocean. Because some of the most dangerous places on Earth aren't in the ocean. They're underground, flooded, and completely dark. And in 2018, 12 children found that out the hard way. On June 23, 2018, 12 boys from a Thai youth soccer team and their coach entered the Tam Luang cave in northern Thailand. They went in just to look around for an hour. It had been dry for weeks. What they didn't know was that a monsoon storm was already moving toward the mountain above them. Within hours, floodwaters surged through the tunnels. The boys retreated deeper into the cave until they found a small ledge 4 kilometers from the entrance. In the dark, with no food, no communication. For 9 days, the world didn't know if they were alive. Then 2 British cave divers found them, 400 meters underground, sitting in darkness. The rescue plan was insane. The tunnels were so flooded, so narrow, that the divers had to remove their oxygen tanks to squeeze through gaps. Some sections required diving blind through zero visibility water. And this is where the lie comes in. The boys couldn't swim. They had never been cave diving. Some of them were terrified of water. The lead diver, Richard Stanton, made a decision. They would sedate the boys with ketamine and drag their unconscious bodies through 4 kilometers of flooded tunnels. But they didn't tell the boys' parents. They didn't ask for consent. They just did it. Because the truth, that your child might drown while unconscious in a flooded cave, was not something any parent could hear. The dosage was experimental. No one had ever sedated a child underwater before. One wrong calculation, and the child would stop breathing mid-dive. Over 3 days, they brought out all 12 boys and their coach, all alive. One Thai Navy SEAL diver died during the operation, running out of oxygen while placing tanks along the route. The lie they told the boys before sedating them? This is a training dive. You're going to be fine. Just breathe normally. They said it to every single child. Every single one of them made it out. Because someone lied with love in one of the most terrifying places on Earth. But there's something else about that cave rescue that nobody talks about. The real reason it almost failed before it started. Elon Musk showed up with a tiny submarine. The rescue team told him, politely but firmly, to leave. The cave was too narrow, the currents too unpredictable. The sub would have killed everyone. Musk called the lead diver a pedophile on Twitter afterward. But the diver? He saved 12 lives, 2 stories, 2 underwater disasters. And the thing they share? The people in charge were certain they were right. Right up until they weren't. But if you really want to understand what happens when humans think they can conquer water, you have to go back, way back, to the most famous wreck in history, and to the 390 people who were just found inside it. But if you really want to understand what happens when humans think they can conquer water, you have to go back, way back, to the most famous wreck in history, and to the 390 people who were just found inside it. The Titanic sank on April 15, 1912. Over 1,500 people died, but only 340 bodies were ever recovered. For over a century, people asked, where are the rest? The answer, according to new research, is that many of them never left the ship. They're still inside. In the sealed lower decks, the third-class cabins, the boiler rooms, entombed in metal 3,800 meters below the Atlantic. When the Titanic split in two and plummeted 3 kilometers in under 15 minutes, the interior pressures created a vacuum effect, pulling people and objects deeper into the structure. And at those depths, human remains decompose differently. Cold temperature, extreme pressure, darkness. Bodies don't float away. Some may be preserved. In 2023, a new deep-sea scan using photogrammetry created the first full 3D map of the Titanic wreck. What they found changed everything we thought we knew about the ship's final moments. The bow section, fully intact, almost peaceful. The stern section, twisted metal, catastrophic implosion, evidence of a violent spinning descent. And the debris field stretching 2 miles across the ocean floor. Personal objects, shoes, teacups, a child's toy, still perfectly arranged after 111 years. Now go back 400 years earlier, to a ship even older, Henry VIII's warship, the Mary Rose, sank in 1545 with 500 men aboard. And when they raised it in 1982, 390 skeletons were still inside, some still at their battle stations, still wearing their boots. One skeleton, a large dog, was found curled up near the surgeon's cabin. The ship had sunk so fast, under 10 minutes, that most of the crew never had a chance to get out. The anti-boarding nets designed to stop enemy soldiers from climbing on deck. They trapped their own men inside. They found archers with deformed skeletons, bones literally reshaped by years of pulling 200-pound longbows. Their bodies had physically adapted to killing. They found a surgeon's chest, still sealed, containing 500-year-old medicines, ointments, syringes, a jar of peppercorns used as painkillers. And here's the thing about both ships, the Titanic and the Mary Rose. The people who built them, the people in command, they all believed these ships were unsinkable. The Titanic was described as practically unsinkable in a trade publication. The Mary Rose was the pride of the English Navy, newly rebuilt, Henry VIII himself watching from shore as it went down. Human arrogance and water have a 500-year history together. And water always wins. Remember what I said at the beginning. 3 disasters, 1 terrifying thing in common. Here it is. In every single case, someone in charge was warned, and they ignored it. Stockton Rush was warned about the carbon fiber hull. The cave entrance had been flagged as dangerous during monsoon season. The Titanic's captain was warned about icebergs at full speed. The Mary Rose was warned she was top-heavy. The ocean doesn't kill people. Arrogance does, every single time, and this isn't ancient history. Right now, at the bottom of the Atlantic, the Titan debris field is classified. The U.S. Navy won't release the full implosion recording. Right now, parts of the Titanic are dissolving at 200 pounds of iron per day. Within 50 years, the world's most famous shipwreck will be gone. And right now, explorers are still finding new wrecks, new caves, new sealed compartments. Some of them are still looking for their missing people. The Thai cave boys? They're in their 20s now. Most of them became Thai Navy SEALs to honor the man who died saving them. One of the British cave divers who saved them. He says he still dives the same cave every year, just to check. And the OceanGate families? They're still waiting for answers the US government refuses to give them. If you made it this far, you already know more about these disasters than 99% of people. Drop a comment. Which one hit you hardest? The Titan, the cave, or the bodies still in the Titanic? And subscribe, because next week we're going deeper into a disaster so covered up, the government sealed the documents for 50 years. You won't believe what they found.